Good evening once again. Hello everyone. How are you guys doing? You don't sound like you're happy. Are you cold? No. Not really? Okay, cool. Welcome to WordKalcha. For those of you who are here for the first time, WordKalcha is a spoken word platform meant to nurture the art of spoken word and help those who are still nurturing their art to get a platform so they can, they can grow. It's a platform that we get courtesy of the Alliance Française, supported by the French Embassy in Zimbabwe and the Swiss Embassy in Zimbabwe. And I curate the platform every month. It's a monthly platform. It happens on a Wednesday every month from 6 p.m. I used to say from 6 to 7:30, but I've realized that in Africa, time has failed to contain us. I have a friend of mine who says, when you say, let's meet at 10, and you're saying that to an African, just say 10 BMT, 10 Black Man's Time. So we started 6. I'm very sure we started 6 or maybe 6:10 or quarter past sometimes. But when the program ends, I cannot be sure. So brace yourself for an amazing experience of spoken word. Clap your hands. Clap hands for yourselves. So to kickstart this session, we start with an open mic. And tonight, we are starting with a gentleman who was here by 1 p.m. because he saw the poster and he saw the poster and he said, I am going to be in that open mic segment. I'm going to be there by 1 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Panache. Where's Panache? Huh? But he was here by 1 p.m. Okay. Let me check who's next on the list. How can you be here by 1 p.m. and then you're late for the... I don't get it. Anyway. This gentleman here wasn't here by 1 p.m., but he was here by 3 p.m. No, I'm telling the truth. He was here at exactly 3 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Pray More. Keep it going, keep it going.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so I was here at past 3, guys. Why did you do that? Okay, so the poem that I'm going to do today is called Was Still Harare. My friends are still signing in. Just wanted them to be here for it. But it's basically about guys in Zim, young men in Zim, like myself and all the people my age who I've had experiences with. So here we go. Okay. We are Harare brothers. We love in silence. We cry in showers. We're too old to be unmarried. We're too broke to marry. They say we're lazy, but they don't see how many nights we stay up negotiating with God for a break. They don't see how many boots take turns to step on our necks. They don't see how we dream and give it up just to stay afloat. They say, "Amunama responsibilities," but we don't brag for supporting our dying parents. They say, "Unooneka nekamuendero kako kujemtree kuti hauna mhuri," but they don't get that a night out is one of the few self-fulfilling acts that help us to stay sane. We are Harare brothers. We love teaming up in sports. Our athletes train by jumping potholes. We sprint from rising prices. We compete in crisis management. About our worth. They lie about our potential. But the frequency of our suffering is louder than those lies. We have our very own slogan, "Better the devil you know." Unless the devil is selling your soul for Madiria Chinese rice and second-hand Mercedes. We are tired. We are afraid. We are brilliant. We are drowning. We joke too much because the truth burns. We are Harare brothers. We're told to show courage when every young person we know has a suitcase for a heart, half packed, half resigned, whispering there's nothing left here but waiting. See, we are the brothers of Harare, and we have mastered the art of dancing at funerals, of celebrating resilience in the ruins of what could have been. We're still waking up from disappointment. We're still practicing how to breathe underwater. We're still posturing like men foreign to their own bodies. And maybe someday we'll get to be ourselves again. But for now, we are still Harare. Thank you very much.
Wow. That was Primo, ladies and gentlemen. You see why he was here by 3 or 3. Chioni, so you may come inside. Welcome. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Chioni So. So this Saturday is my birthday, and she has just given me a car for my birthday. I don't even know what to say right now. I am so chuffed. All right. Up next, this lady performed for the first time in her life at the last WordKalcha session, and she did an amazing job. It was so amazing that I made it a point that she attended this session so that she performs again. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Hebe.
Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to perform my mom's favorite poem. It is a letter that I wrote, which is almost like a prayer a prayer whispered across generations, a love song to the future we may never see, but still fiercely believe in. This is a letter to the future. Dear future, my hands tremble as I write this letter to you. My heart cries as these words spill onto the page. This wonderful world is heavy. So tell me, did we win? Did the light win? I am desperate to hear from you. Did love drown out the echoes of war? Did the oceans forgive us? The forests heal? Or do you stand among ruins, whispering names of what we lost? Does the sky still sing in its luminous hues? Or tell me its colors have only deepened with time? Tell me the rivers still run untamed and wild. Tell me laughter still rises like birds at dawn. Tell me hands still reach for each other, not for weapons. Tell me, please, that light won, that love won. Must I close my eyes and only dream of you? Of a world where rivers hum their silver songs, where laughter blooms like untamed vines, where love silences those echoes of war, where children chase fireflies, their eyes wide, unburdened, full of dreams. We fought, you know, with hands, with voices, with hopeful hearts that refused to die. We planted seeds in the dark, praying you'd harvest something more than just sorrow. They tried to silence us, but with everything we had, we fought. So tell me, please, did love win? With hope, the past. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was heavy. How many of you are attending a poetry event for the first time? A show of hands. Okay. Put your hands together for them, please. Those at the back, there are seats here, vacant seats. They're not reserved for anyone except for you. Or except for that one. All right. So there's someone once asked me why people do this instead of clapping at a poetry slam or a poetry event, and I didn't know what to say. Well, I knew what to say, but I knew that it wouldn't make a lot of sense to some people. So what I then did was I just invited them to a poetry slam. They came through and they immersed themselves in the, the environment of a poetry slam. And they understood from that poetry slam that we did earlier this year, WordKalcha Poetry Slam in January, that when you get in a certain zone, you don't want to, clap, because there's a certain flow that you get into. Even in the audience, you become one with the person here in front when they, get to a certain level of, they call it spitting in rap. In poetry, we call it flowing, but it's one and the same thing, because rap is rhythm and poetry. So for those of you who missed the January Poetry Slam that we did, I'm going to give you a snippet of what it was by inviting a lady who was one of the finalists at the Poetry Slam. She's an amazing young lady who I know is destined for greatness. Please put your hands together for Tadana Nakai.
I think I want to sit. Hi everyone. I'm really excited to be here. I was like looking forward to this day the entire week. So this poem I have for you today doesn't exactly have a title, but it's about that time, you know, that moment when I can't say fall in love, or let's say you fall in love, or you love someone, or you like someone with whom you share so much in common, but there's just that one fundamental belief or that core belief that makes it impossible for you guys to just be together. So, I hope you like this one. I could have loved him. I think I would have loved him. We were two people on two different planets, but we spoke the same language. We were opponents in a soccer match, but we never fought. Rather, we found the center to be our safe haven, and I often scored at his goalpost. He often scored back at mine, but neither of us lost. There was no counting here. We were so different, but yet so similar in so many ways. So we broke down a chocolate bar between our lips as if we were breaking down the barriers between us. Our tongues quickly intertwined to fill the gap, and in that moment, nothing could come between us. We touched the tips of our tongues as if we were creating a bridge between two castles, washed as our shaking breaths tiptoed the slippery surface down to each other's lungs, and I breathed them in. Whole and deep, the garlic on his breath a souvenir my lungs desperately wanted to keep, and he slid onto my hand as perfectly as a glove, but I did not know I was falling for someone who did not believe in love. Not like I did anyways. He believed in love the same way someone believes in stars, but not the galaxies that hold them. He believed in light, but he denied the existence of the sun. And now we were two people on two different planets, I on Earth and him on Neptune. To me, the sun was everything, but to him, the sun was just another star. And for a while, I convinced myself that this was enough, that maybe it was enough for him to believe in the light, but with time, I realized he would never understand why sunflowers always pray to this giant ball of fire, so he would never get to understand me. We were two pieces of a puzzle that fit perfectly when together, but had different ideas about how the rest of the picture should be finished. So I decided to let him go. I exhaled his breath from my lungs. I watched it walk the plank of my tongue. It stopped at the tip and looked back at me, as if to ask me, "Are you sure?" But I breathed it away like cigarette smoke into the air, to be breathed in by some other girl who would be willing to house his presence inside of her chest. See, I am learning that there will be many palm prints scattered across the world that your hands will fit into perfectly, but not all of them are meant to hold yours. That there are many gloves that will slide onto your hand like a second skin, but not all of them are meant to keep you warm. I am slowly accepting that he was just one of those gloves that slid perfectly onto my hand like a second skin, but he just wasn't meant for me. Thank you.
I'm sure now you understand. I'm sure now you understand why she was in the final round, and she was one of the people who walked away with the prize from the Poetry Slam. That was Tadana Nakai. Another round of applause. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Bridget. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yeah. You want to sit
Uh,
or stand?
I think we're going to sit today. This poem is called Dissociated. I'm sorry I broke your nose. Not to shirk accountability or victim blame or anything, but I did warn you. I said 14 times, I don't accept cunnilingus. I don't know how you managed to misinterpret that. I even explained what cunnilingus meant. I explained my prerequisites for it. A licensed psychiatrist with a stash of lab-grade Molly. I'm sorry I broke your nose, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'll drive you to the ER if you have cash, but I'm not liable for injuries caused while dissociated. That one is the last one about mental health, I promise. Last month, I performed quite a lot about mental health, and I have a personal rule that I don't like to repeat themes ad nauseum so that when I get up on stage, everyone's like, oh, it's crazy. This next one, if I've spoken to you about the poet who put me off poetry and poets for probably a decade, this poem is about that poet. You can't lick a vagina. You can't lick one on a boat. You can't lick one in a moat. You can't lick one sat on a tote. You can't lick a vagina. You can't lick one in a van. You can't lick one on the can. You can't lick one by the watering pan. You could lick a vagina with a tongue like a toad. Or perhaps if your tongue were a chode. But as it is, you can't lick a vagina. You can't lick a vagina. You can't lick one on a bed. You should have just said, I'll give you head. Because you can't lick a vagina. The word you mean, Tsitsi, is vulva. The vagina is the internal structure. The part you can lick is the vulva. But you can't lick a vagina. That poem, the incident it's talking about, the first one with dissociated, when she said, I want to lick your vagina, I was so distracted by her use of the word, which, like, can we all agree that there are words that you use in the doctor's office when only one person in the interaction is naked? And then there are words that we use when both people in the interaction are naked. I was so distracted by her use of the word vagina that I forgot to dissociate while she was licking something that clearly was not the vagina. You get to choose what my last poem is going to be. So, one is about, you know those friends who, for whatever reason, when you meet, there's with someone or you're with someone, but there's a vibe, and you can both tell there's a vibe, but you can't get together, and then when they're single, you're not, or they're too young, and then when they get old enough, you're in a relationship, or there's a reason. So one poem is about that person, and the other poem is about, okay, I believe that everybody is some kind of freak. We all like to say, oh, you know, I'm perfectly respectable, I don't do that. Everybody is into some kind of weird, okay? This is a poem about somebody who whenever we see each other, if there's this particular topic comes up in a film, this person always looks super uncomfortable. If it comes up in conversation, they hide behind whatever is closest so that nobody can see their face. Okay. The first one. Okay. Can I have?
You can only choose one, guys. Remember, it's only 3 minutes. Yeah. Please choose.
So, tentacles, huh? Every time I see you, I paint tentacles when I get home. It's not my kink, I know that much. I don't like tentacles, they're hard to paint. Yet I paint tentacles for no good reason, to clean my aura after we hang out. So, tentacles, huh? If I made tentacle gloves from molded silicon, would you feel seen or scared? Thank you, that's my set.
That was Bridget, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The interesting thing about poetry events is that you hear all sorts of things from tentacles to Neptune and the earth, a lot. Another round of applause for Bridget. Moving on, we're still in the open mic segment, and we are about to close the open mic segment. We have 2 performers left in this segment. Please help me to welcome to the stage Melusi. He said he came all the way from Bindura for this. Please make that applause louder.
Hi, you are a work of art. I hope the artist within me finds a place in the walls and the galleries of your halls, who call it art, who play the music, for who will be the artist. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Melusi, so I leave a part of me in every poem that I write or perform, so I hope you guys find me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Zimbabwe and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, in the indivisible, liberty, justice, and for all. Your Highness, my name is Melusi. I am a seer, and I'm just going to show you what I have seen. See, I am a seer. I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow sisters cut their long skirts short into short pawn skirts. They do so that they can penetrate in the environment that loves it short. See, I am a seer. I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow brothers cut their long trousers into short pawn shorts. They do so because life keeps giving them mules and boons, and they rather act the pawn themselves. See, I am a seer. I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow sisters waving their hands in admiration in churches with the same hands they used to give a hand, and they still wonder why they hand their jobs away. See, I am a seer. I have seen it all. See, I am a seer. I have seen my fellow mothers worshipping in churches with the same mouth they used to give their heads, and they still wonder why they blow their jobs away. But man, I am a seer. I have seen it all. See, I am a seer. I have seen my fellow mothers mourning and groaning in churches in Holy Spirit as the pastors preach, the same way they mourn and groan when the pastors preach their preachings in them, on them. But man, I am a seer. I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow brothers playing keys in churches on the keyboards with the same hands they used to play on Alicia, so it's Alicia keys. But man, I am a seer, I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow brothers with thighs painted blue by bows of fellow man. But man, I am a seer, I have seen it all. I have seen my fellow sisters get very big marks, not because of their big essays, but because of what you know is already big. See, I have seen my fellow Zimbabweans destroy factories only that they can build churches, and they still pray to God that God blesses them with more jobs. But man, I'm a seer. I've seen it all. Thanks.
Well, okay. I'm not a seer. I'm a poet. But I've also seen it all. Another round of applause for Melusi. And to close off this round, please help me to welcome to the stage Nyasha Munashi.
Can you guys hear me without the mic? Because I plan on moving around quite a bit. Yes? No? Okay. I can project my voice. Don't worry about me. I'm from a land where the accent's thicker than drying blood, where graduates and scholars get convicted of crimes, cuz. See mama's swollen eyes, the effects of what crime does. Drugs, thugs, and chunks of alcohol on human esophagus. And bronchos clearly the cause of this. Diasporic dreams, or so it seems, they're nightmares. Individualistic cultures will ignore you when you're right there. With hands lifted high in worship, but not extended to neighbor, we make all these aphorisms, but don't resemble our Savior. You see, this is my urban poetry. I've been devoted. See your lack of wisdom, it connotes to me with heavy potency. You've been in scope and seen by wicked papacies who swim in papacy because they were paid to speak and seek the interests of the states of the instead of patiently seeking their wisdom from the deity, so there's a vacancy as it pertains to thee. Abba, I'm often demonized for feeding 5,000 equal pieces of pie, but these elitist guys with their deceit and lies, they hide behind their decent ties and sink their teeth inside and cause the blood to leak and drive the Jews of vultures' evil smiles. So with precision of the eagle's eye, proceed to reason why the working class get high, climbing trees to hide. From schemes devised and fees applied, from thieves and lies like Zacchaeus. When I see him, my inclination to catch a body like Pentecostal preachers at Easter time. That was until I looked in Jesus' eyes. What's the predicament when blood, sweat, and tears, they ain't enough? I hate to brag, but it appears that my peers, they ain't as tough, solid, militant, whatever you call it. I'm from a country where smartest niggas never see college.